Today in The Sims 4, we're building a house in the shape of the number 5, and the theme will be the 5 senses. I am part of the EA Creator Network, so some packs were gifted to me and some packs I've purchased myself. Welcome back to the Numbers Challenge, an original series on my channel where you guys decide the rules, and the rules have to be related to the number. As you can see, we've already done numbers 1 to 4, so I'll link the entire playlist down below so you can catch up on all the episodes. I will also link the Alphabet Series playlist down below, which is very similar to this series, but we did letters of the alphabet with themes / aesthetics that started with that letter. So for the number 5 today, I really loved the top comment suggestion from Sibel Chanel, not really sure how to pronounce her name, but they suggested the 5 senses and also gave me some ideas on how to actually implement the idea. So I'm not gonna lie, this is a very abstract idea for my taste. I don't know if I'm that creative, but a ton of you clearly liked this idea, so we're gonna give it a try. I'd say keep your expectations if they're usually here, maybe here instead for today's video. And as usual, please leave your suggestions on what rule or rules we should do for the number 6. Okay, today's sponsor is no stranger to my channel, and for good reason, because I love meal kits like Factor. I know, you're either a meal kit person or you're not a meal kit person. Trust me, I know how to cook for myself, and even I was converted. It's one of those things where you just need to try it once to fully realize how much time and mental load you save. This month I actually have a really good discount for you guys, so you can try out Factor for the first time, and there's no commitment required. You can cancel anytime. But basically, Factor delivers fresh, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals right to your door, and these meals are ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Every week, you get to choose from a menu of 35 options, including Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and vegetarian. I know you probably have a busy summer coming up, maybe you're going on vacation, but don't worry, Factor is super flexible. You can change up your order every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. So if you want to try Factor, you can get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders using code DocAshMay50 or by clicking the link in my description or scanning the QR code. By the way, in case you aren't familiar with what the 5 senses are, it is smell, touch, hearing, taste, and there's one more I'm forgetting. Touch, smell, hearing, taste, and sight. Now I've gone ahead and sectioned off the number 5 into 5 different rooms that are going to correspond to each of the 5 senses. So in this bottom corner, we have our bedroom, which will be touch. Right off the bedroom, we have a pretty interesting shaped bathroom, which will be smell. We just have an entryway here, which will flow into our dining room, which will be hearing, which flows into our kitchen, which will be taste, and then our open concept living room, which will be sight. I would love to hear your thoughts down below as to whether or not you think I assigned the right sense to the right room, and if there's anything you would have done differently. But coincidentally, I'm feeling like a 5 out of 10 on the confidence scale about this one, so let's get started. I think I'm feeling the most confident about the bedroom, so why don't we start here? And the bedroom is gonna be touch, and immediately I thought of the fluffy rug. Something about this rug in The Sims, you guys, but I can literally feel what this feels like. The goal for this room is just to make something really comfy and cozy with a ton of soft textures. I guess it doesn't really have to be soft textures, just textures in general. And because, like I said, this is kind of an abstract concept, I'm kind of going off of a lot of intuition here. For example, with this cottage living bed, I'm imagining this metal bed frame would be cold to the touch. I actually had a bed frame kind of similar to this growing up. I think it was made of iron or something. It was really cool, but I always remember it was really nice to touch it and it was really cold. Next, going in with these tiny living poofs, they have this nice soft texture to them, and for dresser, maybe even this woven one from the Groin Together pack. In general, I'm trying to stay away from basic items like this one from the base game, for example, where it's just kind of smooth and flat and probably not very interesting to touch. For the mirror, let's go for something with texture on it, maybe even this one from City Living. And these beautiful Groin Together windows with a design in them. Wow, natural light just makes everything look so much better, don't you think? Now I think we need to go in with some textured curtains. I've basically never used these chiffon shades from the high school years pack, but I do like how it's a combination of chiffon and these tassels. If we can find a really soft desk chair, that would be perfect. I don't know if it exists or not. Oh, you know what? High School Years actually has a fluffy chair. I don't know why, but I always forget about this chair for some reason. This rock salt lamp from the Pastel Pop Kit is literally perfect. I feel like even in real life, you can't pass by one of these and not like want to touch it. And also these candles from the Pastel Pop Kit. I really want to touch these. This is definitely not a unique experience, but does anybody else just like going through the store and like touching things? Not just like clothes and blankets and stuff, like anything that looks kind of interesting, you just want to like touch it to see if it's like squishy or soft. Okay, obviously we need to add some like soft stuffed animals or something. On a similar note, maybe adding some cross stitching or some knitting objects, mainly because it is an activity you do with your hands, like it relies on touch a lot, but also with knitting, you can make some really soft and cozy objects like blankets and sweaters, which go perfectly with the theme. For wall art, I'm oddly thinking of a very specific item, and it's this one from Dream Home Decorator, mainly because it has a lot of texture and it seems like it would be kind of cool to touch. It's like a very abstract piece of art. I'm not sure if it exactly goes in this room or not. Maybe I can size it down a bit. It's like slightly uncalled for, but I think it fits the theme. I'm not sure how we lasted this long without putting down any flooring or wallpaper, but let's finish off the room. This Cats and Dogs wood has a lot of colors and textures. That seems really pretty. We could go for a white brick on the walls, or maybe something more subtle like this one from Country Kitchen. This one kind of matches the bed a little bit better. Now, as a final finishing touch, I'm gonna try and do the throw blanket trick where I grab this stool and I hang it off the side of the bed using the Control 9 key to raise it up a little bit. Just hold down the Alt key and place it perfectly on the corner like so. There is possibly gonna be a little bit of clipping, so you'll need to grab a tray of your choice and raise that up as well to cover it. And that's gonna be it for our touch bedroom, where every single item in this room has an interesting texture or it would be kind of cool to touch. I'm definitely taking a very like subtle approach to this challenge because at the end of the day, I still want this build to like turn out nice looking, if you know what I mean. So let me know what you guys think of this room, if there's any items you think I might have missed, and let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the bathroom, which is gonna be smell. Now, I think we should interpret this in two different ways. The first one being a very spa-like bathroom. You know, like we've got the scented candles and all of the nice bath products. Just in general, a lot of products that will leave you smelling really, really nice. Now, on the flip side, there's also a situation where you use the bathroom and you leave and it doesn't smell very nice. So basically what I'm saying is the bathroom is perfect for smell because it encompasses the entire spectrum of smell, from very good to very, 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 very bad. Not that I would know anything about any of that though. I wanted to have this walk-in shower area, so once again, I'm gonna use the Moschino divider trick to kind of create an artificial wall somehow. Just something to make it feel slightly more closed off. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I'm gonna turn to the bathroom clutter kit just because it comes with a ton of different shower products and perfumes and lotions and all of that nice smelling stuff. I especially love these candles and how they can snap to the edge of the bathtub. I made sure to include this empty counter space so I could clutter it up with all of these products. Okay, this counter here is literally all items from the bathroom clutter kit. We have our scented candles, our scented soap, our perfumes, our lotions, our bath salts, everything. You can just tell that on a good day, this bathroom would smell amazing. Now, I also think adding some items from the Spa Day game pack would be perfect. Let's add one of these incense just to add to the aromas. And I mean, since we're going for spa vibes, why don't we just add one of these speakers so you can have like nice, relaxing music playing while you're in the bath? I don't know, maybe it's like kind of weird for a home bathroom, but it's definitely possible. I would not be against adding like built-in speakers into my bathroom. Whenever I take a shower, I will like find my favorite Spotify playlist and like crank the volume up to full on my iPhone and try and listen to music in the shower. I don't like bring my phone inside the shower, but I'll like prop my phone up against the wall really close by. Does anybody else do that, or is it just me? Since we've included so many candles, we could potentially lose this overhead light. Oh yeah, that looks really good. You guys know that I love my overhead lighting, so it's always a good day when I can lean more into the mood lighting. But that's gonna be it for our scented spa bathroom filled with both good and potentially bad smells. But in my opinion, this is going pretty well so far, so let's move on. Let's finish off this entryway quickly before we move on. Now, the entryway doesn't actually have a specific scent assigned to it, so I'm just gonna try and make it like match the vibe of the rest of the house thus far. We do have room for a formal coat closet closet by the entrance, and then just putting a small console table by the entrance. This one is from the Laundry Day pack. Then adding a cute mirror on top and cluttering it up with some staples from the Everyday Clutter kit. I want to use this high school years rug as like our doormat just because the flowers on it make it feel kind of cottagey, but at the same time it feels like more of a modern rug. But then I'm not sure if it really goes with the rest of the furniture here. I might have to change something. I just can't decide what. Maybe changing this closet to black to match the rug gives it a slightly more modern feel, or I could change it to pink to match the flowers in the rug. Okay, I added this high school years pink overhead light and then swapped the mirror to this gold one. I think that looks really cute. Now on this side, I'm just gonna go in with an ottoman, maybe this one from the Laundry Day pack. And here's our simple entryway all done. I think it looks really cute. I like the colors. I do think that it does tie in nicely with the bedroom. I'm not so sure about this bathroom because this is quite modern, but I guess we'll have to see how the rest of the rooms play out to make it feel integrated. Now the dining room is gonna be for our sense of hearing. And the reason why I chose that is because I kind of associated dining rooms with like dinner parties where you're having conversations over dinner and you have to, you know, use your ears. I also imagined while you're eating dinner, you have like light music playing in the background on your stereo or record player. So overall, sitting at a dinner table is just somewhere where you have to use your ears. What can I say? Also, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm at a dinner with like a large group, sometimes I don't really talk that much and I like to just listen, especially if there's like multiple conversations going on. Oh my gosh, like I literally cannot concentrate. I'm like hearing two things at once. Like if somebody is sitting across from me and talking to me, but I can hear another conversation in my other ear, I literally have to like look them in the eye and like concentrate so hard to hear what they're saying. Am I just like a chronic eavesdropper or something? Or is there a scientific reason as to why I can't concentrate on two things at once? You know, there's probably a very good reason and I probably don't want to know. I just had to chop down the wall there to make sure that people could actually walk around the dining room and it'd be functional. By the way, the table is from the base game, the chairs are from My Wedding Story, and the light is from Cottage Living. Now I want to make sure this record player has like its own moment, like it needs to have a full table and stuff to really highlight the hearing aspect of this room. There's also this new item from the new kit. I don't know what the kit is called. Disco Party Kit? What is it? Party Essentials? Honestly, I'm just gonna call it Disco Party Kit from now on because there's like a disco ball, right? So that makes more sense to me. I feel like you guys will know what I'm talking about. So for the future, let it be known, whenever I'm talking about the Party Essentials kit, I'm gonna call it the Disco Party Kit. Okay? Party Essentials just sounds so like generic and boring. Would it be overkill to include 2 record players in this dining room? I feel like this one would look really cute on top of a bar cart here. I guess there isn't really any room to include it, which kind of sucks, but this item is really cool. So I'm not mad that I was able to find a use for this item today. It also has like all the built-in records underneath. Let's put this base game Jazz Cats painting on the wall here. Anything that's related to like musical instruments definitely fits this vibe. We can put one of these guitars in the corner here. Maybe someone wants to whip it out and play a song after dinner. And then what if we stack a bunch of these high school year shelves on top of each other here, kind of like a display case? And then we can put a bunch of other like hearing and sound related things in here, like these radios and this record player that we wanted to include, this smart speaker from Growing Together, and this wireless speaker from high school years. Let's make it shorter instead so it looks less weird. I think that actually looks really cute, and these kind of remind me of those IKEA shelves that like a younger college student would have. And then we'll also just include this base game piano painting on top. And since we do have some hints of gold and some brass, I think this round rug from the Modern Luxe kit, sized down a ton, would look really nice underneath this dining table. Low-key, this is so like classy and cute at the same time. Like this person is growing up and wants to have their nice fancy dinner parties, but doesn't want to give up their personality. Like they want these pink chairs and their gold rug and their cute little record players. I think this dining room, although it is super small, did perfectly capture that sense of hearing theme. We managed to squeeze in a ton of items that reference music and instruments, and the fact that we were able to include 4 chairs here so you can have a decently noisy dinner party. You guys, I already know the exact countertops I want to use here, and that's these black ones from the Country Kitchen kit. I'm telling you, when this kit came out, I was so obsessed with these kitchen counters, but specifically this black swatch. To me, it's like the perfect combination of a cottagey vibe mixed with a modern vibe. And you guys know I love myself a good transitional aesthetic. I forgot to mention, but the kitchen, the sense is obviously your sense of taste because you cook food that you eat here. So I think I'm gonna go above and beyond and include like a lot of food products like fruit bowls, cookie jars, just like anything that has like food visible, I'm gonna try and include it here. I feel like usually my kitchens, I tend to keep them quite minimalistic, but not today. It's gotta be a little bit more in your face. Even these barbecue sauces from the backyard stuff pack, we need to be able to have all the possible combinations of flavors. These bottles of wine, absolutely. Let's grab this big Dutch oven from the cottage living pack. These plates from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. Also, by the way, I'm just like placing everything out on the counter, but I will organize it later. Oh, another spice rack. Let's go, of course. This big bucket of fruit and also this flour jar. And what is this? A bread box? Sure, let's have that too. Ooh, this casserole dish as well. Okay, I feel like we might be running out of space. I think I'm gonna put some open shelving along here so we can display everything. And here's the kitchen all cluttered up with the items that I put on the counter. I did add some extra ones like this tea kettle and this pizza maker. Also these mugs from the Everyday Clutter Kit and this matcha tin from Snowy Escape. In terms of sense of taste, I really don't know what else I could possibly add in this kitchen. There is no flavor that you cannot taste in this kitchen. Let's go in with this black Book Nook Kit fluffy rug. I like how it grounds the space and really finishes off the room, but let me know what you guys think of this kitchen. I do like how it flows really nicely from the dining room. It feels kind of like busy and cozy, but now let's work on our final room, which is the living room. Last but not least is our sense of sight, and I think the living room does make the most sense for this one because we can put a massive TV. I was also considering putting a ton of artwork that you can admire in this room. Do you think it would make sense to even put like an easel down where you can create your own works of art, or perhaps maybe camera, like a photography kind of thing instead? That to me maybe makes a little bit more sense, only because you have to like look through the viewfinder on a camera and like use your eyes. Seriously, you guys, I'm not good at these like abstract concept challenges because I'm way too literal. I definitely can think outside the box, but like my default is to think like inside the box. Maybe this optical illusion item from the Decor to the Max kit, it is kind of like trippy on your eyes. I mean, it makes sense to me. The challenge here will be trying to incorporate this weird item. I can probably slot it in the corner over here. It's like semi-low key. Just placing these canvases up against the wall, kind of like it's slotted behind the couch too. Even these canvases here can kind of go behind the TV slightly. Let's grab this high school years rug, maybe in a pink color. Ooh, perhaps this one? I think I like this one. We went a bit more serious in the kitchen and dining, so I want the living room to be more fun. I feel like a small bookshelf wouldn't hurt either, right? This is probably kind of weird, but I really love how it looks kind of crowded in this corner here. It feels cozy to me, and it also feels like somebody who is like slowly starting to outgrow their apartment. Not everything has to be like perfectly aesthetic when you build in The Sims, because in real life, that's not always the case. Sometimes when things look kind of imperfect, it makes it feel more realistic. And just to make sure there's lots of stuff to look at, I'm gonna fill all of these blank wall spaces with more paintings or wall decorations. Just basically fill up the entire wall with stuff. So much stuff that your eyes won't know where to look. And here's the finished living room with all of the artwork on the wall. I just made this big art collage kind of overlapping and going behind the TV even. I think it looks pretty cool. There's a variety of different styles of art. It's definitely a lot, but I think your eyes will have something different to look at every time you come into this room. But with that being said, here is our final room all done. I hope that it checked all of the boxes for you guys. I think adding this photography tripod was a nice little bonus as well, and the optical illusion object was a nice touch. Overall, the build does feel pretty cohesive and I am really happy with it. And personally, I enjoyed the more subtle approach to this challenge as opposed to the more like full-on intense approach I did with the 4 elements. I don't know, I just feel like this type of a build is more my style, like trying to make it look really nice and pretty. But you guys will have to let me know what you guys think of the interior in the comments section down below. Do you think that I captured the vibe of the 5 senses, or was this just too abstract of a concept for me to pull off? Honestly, 5 senses aside, I think that the floor plan of the number 5 was actually really good. And we have to remember that that is part of the challenge too. At the end of the day, I am furnishing an entire house in the shape of the number 5, which isn't ideal by any means. So bottom line, I am very proud of myself with this build and I would totally live here. Now it's time to just completely ruin all of that and go do the exterior and the roofing. Okay, this is where all of my hard work goes down the drain. This is always a very humbling experience for me because I do kind of consider myself to be decent at roofing. Time and time again, I try and make this octagonal roof piece work, but for some reason it just never looks good with my builds. The problem is this isn't a perfect octagon, so this is too small, but then if I extend it out, it's like way too big. It looks like really silly. So unfortunately, no octagonal roof today, darn. What if I just do a bunch of gabled roof pieces? So I'll do a gabled roof all the way through like that. Maybe another gabled roof going through this side. Oh yeah, that's turning out horrible. Let's try the half-hipped roof diagonal piece. I mean, it's not bad, it's just kind of gross looking, but we'll keep it for now. Should we just commit and put one of these half-hipped roofs on this side as well? That way, at least it's kind of consistent looking. And then on the front area, maybe this diagonal gabled roof just to make it look like the front entrance. This is by far the weirdest roof I've done in this entire series, hands down. Let's go with this thatched roof from Cottage Living and give this like a quaint cottage vibe. Let's use these bunny roof decor pieces as well. Okay, wait, why do I feel like it's actually coming together with all of the roof decor? This is kind of weird. Sometimes building in The Sims is one of those things where if you just keep adding enough stuff, it starts to look good. Okay, I'm trying to think of how I can tie in the 5 senses into this exterior, and I was thinking like obviously this thatched roof is very like scratchy and like very distinctive feeling, so that could maybe play into touch. For smell, maybe we could put a ton of flowers, like so many flowers that you can literally smell it from like 100 meters away. I'll start off by putting a ton of these Cottage Living flower boxes everywhere. For hearing, the only thing I can think of is to include a fountain, like one that like drips and makes a lot of noise. I can make a little porch and then put this fountain on the porch like so. Additionally, I could put like a bird feeder or a bird cage. That way you can also hear the chirping of the birds in the morning. For the sense of taste, I think that means we have to include a garden where you can grow some food. Nothing too crazy, maybe just a few planter boxes outside here. Just raising the build up on a small foundation so we can have some stairs going up to it. And finally, just bringing our country kitchen kit brick onto the outside. And that's gonna be it for our 5-shaped modern cottagey home with a subtle nod to the 5 senses. I'm kind of on the fence about this one because on the one hand, I really love how it turned out as a whole. Like, I would totally live here. I think the aesthetic is super pretty. The color scheme is one of my favorites. But at the same time, I'm not exactly sure if I like executed the 5 senses well enough for you guys. Like I said, this concept was a little bit more abstract and I did choose to take a more subtle approach to it. Hopefully me like talking through my thought process as I was placing down each item helped to justify as to where I was going with it. And I also did read comments in my last video that you guys like when I kind of make the builds prettier and like more of my style. So hopefully we kind of got the best of both worlds with this one, but please let me know what you guys think of it down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you want to see more from this series. It really helps the channel out and the series out. And comment down below what your suggestions are for what rules we should do for the number 6. And if any of you are planning on making a purchase from the EA app or thesims.com, please consider using my creator code DoctorAshley at checkout, and 5% of your purchase will go towards supporting me. Episode 6 is coming very soon, so get your suggestions in, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. I love you guys so much, and I hope you all have a very above average day. Bye!